Okay. Okay, I have to admit, when you were telling that story, I was thinking of a commercial. I don't know, maybe last year. I think it was a car commercial where a guy was talking about missed opportunities, and the guy was either broke up with or didn't go out with. I believe it was Brooklyn Decker or some model in high school because she was awkward looking. The glasses, the braces. They're talking about missed opportunities, and I just imagine the guy Timmy watching this and feeling like that now. Um, yeah, but so anyway, talking about first crushes, it's hard to say a lot about first crush or early crushes because, as you said, a lot of them you don't really know that well. Particularly for me, as I've never been good with people, especially people of the opposite sex who I am attracted to. So there were always people who I maybe found physically attractive, and maybe they seemed nice enough, but I didn't really know them. So it's more or less, any early crushes are just listing names. So I guess I'll tell a story that's, I mean, a little bit older, not a first crush, but and it's not so much an embarrassing story like yours, uh, but I think it's great that you have that embarrassing story, because you put yourself out there, and you you think you said something about not being protective of your heart, but I think that's the reason why you are now happily married, and someone like me, I'm still single. You know, don't get too much off topic, but something I said in a previous response. I don't know if you remember, or for anyone else who is possibly watching this, that was back when I was doing these privately. In the Naked Truth about reality TV, you were talking about how you had kind of regretted the decision you made to, you know, do the show because it was a bad experience. And my response was that taking those chances that made you who you are. And even going back further, one of the things I said was, I believe it was in that one, that one of the first Naked Truths I watched was the one on the Naked Truth on jobs. And obviously, I had liked you before that. I watched you. So I spent on Table Talk, and you're a geeky girl who seemed nice and funny. So I gave your channel a shot. It had nothing to do with the naked thing. Freddie was thinking that, but like I said, well, the first one was jobs, and you talked about all these jobs you had tried, and it's one of the things that really drew me to these videos. That willingness to just try anything. It's a quality I wish I had. Anyway, so like I said, my story isn't so much embarrassing as maybe sad would be this word to describe it. because I was a little older, and I was at work, and there was someone I worked with who had a lot of friends who came in, and a lot of them were attractive females. Uh, so there was this one girl who was pretty, but to be perfectly honest, if she had stopped coming in, I probably would have never noticed. I probably would have never realized. But she came in one day when he wasn't working, and started talking to me. And it turned out she happened to work like a couple stores down. And I think she was waiting a ride, and she started talking for like 20 minutes, a half an hour. And I realized she was just like really nice girl. And all of a sudden, jumped from just being a pretty girl to like really being attracted to her. Uh, so, which, while I will say, while looks are attractive, personality is really important too. Anyway, this is someone who more got to know her, even though as much as I got to like her, she was a really nice person. Totally different from me. Never would have worked out if we ever did go out. But uh, as someone without much dating experience, I am one of those people who's not very good at reading signs. Anyway, she would come into me and spoke to me a lot. When I first met her, she actually had a boyfriend, and he then went away to college, and they were on again, off again, and I never I never wanted to ask. She would tell me certain things, but I never wanted to ask if they were together or not. It kind of felt a little intrusive. Plus, he's a bit of a wimp. Uh, and anyway, so one day she was telling me she had to, for a play, for a school project, she had to go see a play and I guess do a report on it or something. And she didn't want to go alone, so she asked if I would go with her. And now I'm not one at reading signs, but to me, this seemed like, well, if she is on an off period, maybe this is a date like thing. Um, and unfortunately, like the day before, she goes, "Oh, I got another friend who can come with me. So if you don't want to go, you don't have to." So I guess it turned out it wasn't a date like thing. So at least I knew. Not that I don't know if I would have done anything else differently, but at least I knew ahead of time, so I didn't make a complete idiot of myself. But not wanting to seem like I did it just because I thought it might be a date. I said, "Oh, I don't care. If it's three of us, I'll still go." So we go, because she had only planned on two of us going. They only had two seats together, and a third seat had to be separate for all three of us to go. Now, I wasn't going to sit next to this other girl because I didn't know her, and it wouldn't make so it was either it was going to be one of us sitting with her and be trying to be the nice guy. Oh, well, I'll sit by myself. Oh, that's so sweet of you. So basically, what I thought might be a date with this girl I had a crush on ended up with me watching a play by myself. Um, so, yeah, that's, I guess, one of my embarrassing or sad crush stories, anyway. So, thanks for listening, and goodbye.